wait for the Discord notification to know that I'm live for sure.
Oh, I don't even freaking know about the Discord. Discord notifications are freaking delayed as hell for me usually.
Honestly, like they were for me for a while. It's funny because that part of Discord got fixed, but now everything else on for me for Discord is broken. So that's great.
Oh yeah, the oh fuck, what was it? The Twitch notifications for it. Oh, definitely delayed.
Oh, for sure.
Which like it takes like a full 2 minutes sometimes for me for it to go and notify that I'm live on Twitch. But
Speaking of which, Hungry Box was like all like happy for me getting my Switch the other day. I was pretty psyched about that.
wait. Well, anyway, welcome to the finale of the JoBros podcast. I decided not to end it off on the decided not to end it off with whatever the hell the last one was.
The horrible place that it was in when you ended it up before.
Okay, get the mic about like 5 feet away from your fucking throat. Thank you. But
That
yeah,
was intentional. That was intentional.
no, I thought you did it on purpose, really. But you know, I wanted to end it on a high note
The YouTube dramatic effect.
instead of the low note that it was on before. You know, and I'm friends with Graham again, so I was like, hell, why the hell not? Bring him back. So we're gonna be doing this. Oh, I know who would dislike.
How low can you go?
Anyway.
The answer is low enough to limbo under the wall.
Yeah. You know, I figured let's just end this off on a fucking high note and let's do a final podcast. I want to talk about like obviously the podcast as a whole, but first there's a lot of other things that we were talking about before we actually started and we went live that I think would be pretty interesting to talk about.
Oh heck yeah.
So
And I think this is a good place to start off with because honestly, like, I feel like we're in a good place. The thing, if anybody takes anything away from the string of podcasts leading up till now, because regardless of our personal feelings on the matter, like, there's a valuable, well, I can't speak English, lesson to be learned from all of this, right? And that's you can be an adult and you can be civil and you can resolve things with words. You know what I mean? Like. I think part of growing up is realizing that life is too short to hold grudges and to kind of stay mad at people who you consider friends and family over petty crap. So, no hate, only love here on the podcast. Am I right? That's the positive message I'm trying to get across.
Yeah. So we were talking about
sound like a tool.
We were talking about actually before we even go into anything else, I want to talk about Leafy.
Yes, please. That's where I was hoping you would start.
Well, for all of you that don't know, Leafy is here. He got banned off of YouTube yesterday, and yeah, it's a pretty devastating hit for the commentary community.
It's a pretty devastating hit for content creators across YouTube in general. Because once we dive a little further into the implications on like freedom of speech when it comes to like the YouTube platform, YouTube is like becoming the new Twitter right now.
Yeah.
As far as censorship goes, it's a sad day.
Yeah, and I mean we got the fact that he didn't even get any strikes either. His channel just got immediately terminated. That's another concerning thing because that just means that YouTube themselves stepped in and just deleted his channel without even giving any strikes or anything.
Meanwhile, other people on the platform are allowed to go around and create smear campaigns and fake accounts and harass people and dox people and bully people and say horrible things and make several videos about people over and over again. And guess what? YouTube doesn't care. YouTube's just like, oh man, what's that? Not enough clout, sucks to be you. But if you but you can't say anything to hurt Bay's feelings because Pokemon just brings in too much fucking money.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna comment on that.
I mean, and I'm referencing a lot of channels, by the way. I'm not talking about specific situations we've been in, but there are a lot of channels out there that do horrible stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
And people report that shit. Believe me.
Yeah.
Lots of people report that shit. And YouTube's like, oh, what's that? They got like 10K subs. Can't be bothered. Like, They got to have like millions of subscribers before we take action.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that sentiment. Like YouTube doesn't do anything. This whole anti-bullying policy is less of them wanting to actually take down bullying and more of them wanting to take down criticism for blowju channels that make
Their
them a lot of money.
favorites.
Yeah.
For their favorite, their
Can't let
favorite
anyone attack
golden
Pokemon,
heads.
can't let anyone attack fucking H3H3.
Oh, I want to attack him some H3H3
Fuck yeah,
and
fuck
some
Ethan.
Pokemon. Fuck Ethan. Like, Ethan is such a pussy that he waits till you pointed this out. He waits till Leafy's channel's taken down, then he starts talking shit when Leafy no longer has a platform to defend himself.
Well, I mean, this is the same guy that said don't let Pyro have a platform to defend himself, so what did we fucking expect?
Fair enough. It's disgusting, dude. It's like, like, okay, regardless of how you feel about the guy, look at somebody like Keemstar and what he said and done, and then look at Leafy and you realize that YouTube is on some crack.
Yeah, you know the Jewish stereotype?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's funny that Ethan is basically just that.
Well, it makes sense too, considering that YouTube's love of money has had them singing Hanukkah songs for who knows how long.
Yeah, fucking Susan Wojcicki just needs to be fucking fired, but that's never gonna happen. Um, and it also really raises a big question of like, I've heard people
Of
say
course,
that.
it's not gonna happen. It's 2020. If you fire her for incompetence, she's gonna turn it into a sexism lawsuit and own all of YouTube.
Okay, so I think this comes to a big question of like, because people like Donald Trump, they don't, they exempt, I guess, from the anti-bullying. You can make fun of Donald Trump all you want. You can call him any name under the sun, and YouTube doesn't care, right? But then it comes to the question of, okay, well, why is that? Well, the obvious answer is because he's a public figure, and that's what everyone has said. Okay, well, what makes
I
somebody
would
a public
argue
figure?
that YouTube is a public platform. It's not in any way private, and I would argue that anybody on YouTube is a public figure. If you want to like have a nuanced conversation about it and kind of play around with semantics, you can assign a number like, oh, when somebody has a million subs, they are like a celebrity of some renown, right? So then they're a public figure. Well, I hate to break this to you, but no more people around the world I would be willing to.
You good?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I was saying that like I feel like people around the world a lot. If you ask people around the world, a lot more people can tell you more about Pokemon than they can about Donald Trump, right? So they might be able to say like Donald Trump's the president of the United States. He's a big meme. He's an orange Cheeto man, and like he was on The Apprentice or some shit. I am aware that like The Apprentice was his show. Okay, I'm just being like facetious, but anyway. But like when you ask them about Pokemon, they can probably tell you like Pokemon's favorite color, her birthday, like her fucking sign.
Who fucking
I
I
would
could
argue her celebrity eclipses Trump's.
like what some of who fucking major simps could be like, I can tell you the exact day she's on her period. I have that
She
down to
started
memory.
ovulating on this.
Yeah.
She started ovulating on this day, and because I'm a tier 3 sub and I paid her 100 grand, she lets me listen on phone calls where she's getting fucked by her boyfriend, and they were having a discussion about how he didn't want to pull out or use a condom because he wants to get her pregnant, but she doesn't want to give up that sweet money from being an ethot by ruining her figure with a baby. So they got into a fight, and now she's talking to me because she will love me. In the end, she will choose me, your number one Pokemon simp, Ethan.
Now, Ethan, I think I think I should also preface that like yeah, I know Pokimane did make an apology video, but that doesn't mean jack shit. An apology doesn't mean anything until you back it up with actions.
110%. Words are just words.
Yeah. And so like that's my perspective on it, right? She could have had, and some people are saying that her apology was good, but it's like if you look at the standard for like YouTube apologies, severe and continuous lapse in judgment. Uh, you don't really have a standard of actually good being good. Good is just, alright, cool, you didn't say anything fucking ridiculously stupid.
No, I agree. And again, a lot of the YouTubers who apologize for things have been way more serious. Again, oh, you want to like lead harassment campaigns and actively bully people and tell them to commit suicide? Up, too bad for them. Oh my God, you said something rude about our cash cow? Oh, we must ban this no chin having ass man.
Oh yeah, also, another thing that really pisses me off is that some people said, well, maybe it's because he made, like, 5 to 8 or whatever fucking videos with Pokimane, like, in the fucking thumbnail and, the title. But, like, the problem with that is the fact that, like, Keemstar and Ethan had their little spat not too long ago, and neither of them got their channels terminated.
The problem with that is it's called clickbaiting, and every major YouTuber does it. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, if you actually watch the videos, he would have Pokimane in, like, the thumbnail and the title, and he'd probably mention her, like, for, like, a minute in the video, and then he'd just move on to, like, talking about finances and shit. So, like, it's just clickbait. It's just straight-up clickbait, and, like, it's fine. People were loving his videos, because, like, nothing beats him fucking talking about stocks and shit.
Yeah, honestly, my boy Leafy over there, like, he might be rolling in dough from merch and stuff right now, but, like, where he's really making his money is I bet he's, like, he got hired as, like, 60 different, like, major YouTubers and Twitch streamers financial advisors at this point. Like, he's a financial advisor for fucking Nigahiga right now, okay? Like, he's probably on that level of shit.
Yeah, and by
Probably
the way,
not Nigahiga, but
yeah, and by the way, I thought I'd just mention, any of anyone that actually gives a shit about Leafy, you should go and follow his Twitch account, which is Leafy Live, and you should go and follow him on Storyfire as well.
And you should go subscribe to his second channel that he created and re-uploaded all his content to this morning.
Yeah, yeah. But, I mean, it's very likely that his second channel could get removed because of, like, ban evasion. So just in case, you might want to follow him on, like, on Twitter, on Twitch,
I don't know if he's going to make any... I don't know if he's going to make any more videos on YouTube or if he is evading the ban, but, like, doing it in a legally, like, okay way, because if you go look at his new channel, like, in the description it says this is not Leafy is here, this is his manager, I represent him and will be uploading his content on his behalf. So technically,
well, okay, the reason why I say that, like, that isn't really even fair either, because the fact that, like, oh fuck, who was it, some other YouTuber that got banned not too long ago tried to do that, because that's what Keemstar did, and Keemstar got away with it. But some YouTuber tried to do that here recently by having somebody else own their channel. Oh yeah, no, it was fucking Mumpy Jones. When Mumpy Jones did it, he had his girlfriend, like, basically run his channel, and then that channel got deleted too. He ended up now he has, like, a new one on YouTube as well that's still up, but, like, the second one that he made that wasn't even owned by him got deleted as well.
I would say that it's legally arguable in court if somebody were to push the issue, which Leafy has the resources, he very well could push the issue if he were to be if his new channel were to get banned. I think it's a pretty solid case in court if you can prove, like, hey, this person acts as my manager, I pay them, like, they run this channel for me, like, I do not have anything to do with this channel, they run this channel, they own all of the channel and everything that it entails, and because they're using my likeness, they pay me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, if you can show that in court, like, there's not shit that YouTube can do other than saying, like, it's our website, but then they have a TOS for a reason, which means that they have a system of checks and balances based off that TOS, which I don't think they want to go that far, because if it goes that far, I think that you can make way more cases against them than just the whole managing my channel thing, because then you can start showing, like, oh, look, this channel breaks terms of service constantly and they have not been banned, yet I have, and technically all I did was say somebody was a 2 of 10 and their content was bad.
Oh, dude, we up to 7 dislikes. Bam.
Oh, dude, are we?
Yeah. Fucking pro move right there.
Okay.
Pro gamer.
Hold on. So
Uh,
here's what I'm betting.
uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I'm betting they're from the person we can't name.
Uh-huh.
Kung Fu Hustle person is what I will refer to this other person as, which maybe you'll get the reference. Maybe. Um, the wall builder, um, the vegetable, and the irrelevant one. Those definitely make up the majority of that.
Oh yeah, no, they'll fucking post mad that they're not on the fucking podcast.
I was mad, but like they won't get their hands dirty. They can't come out and speak for themselves. They just gotta like hide in the shadow and drop dislikes and try to go around and get other people to fight their battles for them.
Hey, come on. I mean, if you're gonna dislike my video, at least don't be a pussy. Come and chat and fucking, like, actually come at me.
Right, like go in the live chat and be like, fuck Grim, he's a fucking piece of shit, retarded ass motherfucker. Fuck Capo, like he's a fucking soy boy pussy ass bitch. Like
Yeah,
at least
come on.
like come at us. Like
I'm fucking ready.
don't just hide, dude. Like come on. Don't just hide because you're trying to protect your like public YouTube image with your non-existent fan base. Like,
Yeah. Oh, you. Oh, hey. Now people are coming into the chat. Don't tempt me.
are they actually? Are they? Who said that?
Who said what? Oh, don't tempt me.
Who? Yeah.
Particular person that doesn't like us saying that his name.
Oh. I mean, he's more than welcome to come and flame me too. That's fine. I don't care. I don't.
It wouldn't be the first time.
It definitely wouldn't be the first time. You know, I've said this to you many times. I don't have any beef with him. Like, I don't really care what he chooses to do or what his opinion of me is. It's fine. He's entitled to that, and I'm not going to get my feelings hurt over it. So, but I don't have any beef for anybody. Like, I don't. All that drama is so far like in the past. It doesn't matter. But well, we were directing that more towards the other people out there.
Well, I mean, there's another one who said something. It's Game of Stacks over here. How are you?
Game of Stacks.
I can. That just gives off a vibe that I'm already knowing who it is.
That's an interesting name to take. That's definitely a fake. That's definitely
it's definitely a fake account. I mean,
that's not the real deal.
Are you enjoying your toothbrush? But yeah, Leafy.
How many more dislikes can you get the video up to?
Let's see. I can be a fucking epic gamer if I want.
Keep giving Capo interaction. He deserves it.
Yeah, I fucking increase my channel's fucking interaction rate. That's you helping me ultimately. And yeah, Leafy, 100%. He, yeah, you.
He doesn't deserve to be banned.
He, I mean, there's a lot of people also who are celebrating this stuff, right?
Which, to me, is total bullshit. Like,
yeah.
I can't listen. I'm having trouble coming to grips with the world the way it is. Like, I genuinely, and I'm not like being like exaggerative, right? I genuinely have a hard time understanding how we live in a world where people unironically think that like it's cool to censor freedom of speech. It's cool to like beat people up and like they don't deserve any consequences for like even physically harming people. Like it's not just the Leafy, obviously that goes beyond YouTube, right? With like the riots and stuff like that, and like what the Portland DA and stuff is doing. But like, it genuinely boggles my mind how we have to tell people murder is bad, bullying is bad. Like, I genuinely can't fathom how stupid people are now.
All right. So also on Twitter. In response to Leafy's tweet that he put, basically showing that his account was suspended and adding Team YouTube and stuff, some random person, some fucking nobody, responded with saying, You asked it. You asked for it, buddy. Hopefully, you'll try and be a better man in the future. And then put like a fucking picture of from the Joker movie saying, "You get what you fucking deserve."
Oh my god, I
Right?
know.
I fucking
Dude.
I looked at the dude's profile pic. I mean, the dude's profile on Twitter. Right? Looked through his followers. He was following Pokimane, so I was like, okay, it's one of these. So I just responded back with a fucking picture saying "simp."
Oh fucking dude. I'm sorry that you all stand the most average looking like Susie Joe on the fucking internet, okay? I agree with Leafy for the record. She's a 2 of 10, okay? And I'm sorry that hurt your little feelings. Go ahead and cancel my channel, please. Not this channel. Go cancel my channel. It really pisses me off. People like that who are just like unironically like wanting to die on the sword for random thoughts on the internet because they're like the person in chat said, basically a basement dwelling simp and somebody who's never gotten any poontang in their whole life and family friendly. We're calling it poontang, but it's like, if you use some of that money to actually go and maybe keep up with your hygiene and buy yourself a little swag, get like a nice little wardrobe going, maybe get a suit, get a haircut. If you bothered to do these things and then go out and actually do this thing that we call socializing, which obviously I'm not like saying like go out during the quarantine and start fucking random bitches, so that like I'm not gonna have people like accusing me of that shit, but you know what I mean, right? Like instead of like sending Pokimane $5,000 a month because you're some fucking accountant who has too much money and nobody to share it with, like, dude, there's like Tinder, eHarmony, FarmersOnly.com. Like, go out and get you some.
Yeah. I mean, also, I have to say I don't agree with Leafy on that. 2 out of 10 is too high, right? I'd say.
Well, look, I already said before, looks-wise, it's like a 2 of 10. Like, if you factor in personality, she gets a negative sexy scale.
A negative sexy scale. What the fuck?
You know how we found that picture of that female who looks strikingly like Leafy?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Pokimane is so negative on the scale that she's unironically actually a dude.
Confirmed.
Yeah,
Pokimane has a fucking penis.
Pair of Jordans and some jeans, exactly. You gotta go get like the Levi's, like the fucking faded.
Yeah, you gotta make yourself look fresh as fuck, right? But they don't want to. That involves work.
Get you like a $80 59 fitty cap, like get it fitted, like rock out, the Jordans. Gotta get like the off-white Air Force Ones,
And oh fuck.
Now I'm imagining Leafy in like a fitted cap that's like tipped to the side and like wearing a pair of Jordans out in public, just like walking up to random Asians at casinos like, hey, I'm a financial advisor. Let me manage your money. It'll be the best bet you've ever made. Like, and then like leaving a business card and walking off, and there's just confused like Japanese businessmen looking off in the distance like, what?
But let's also just talk about like this sets a disgusting standard, right? Basically says like, okay, let's just say this, right? Let's say instead of Pokimane, he made like 5 or 8 videos or whatever on Onision, right? Would anyone be doing the same thing? Would he be banned if he was doing that same thing to Onision?
Well, the Simps are going to come in and they're going to say, well, if they bothered to watch, they would say, oh, you just compare Pokemon to a pedophile Onision. Okay.
Pokemon?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I know. It doesn't matter whether or not she did the same things as Onision. It's the point that you don't have a problem with people speaking negatively or criticizing people on YouTube. That's not your problem. Your problem is because they criticize somebody that you really, really, really want to fuck because you're sexually frustrated as hell and your stepsister's looking really thick to you right now and you can't do nothing. And so you're throwing money at her, and anybody who would dare question her if you accept their criticism or their questioning of your idol that you worship, that means that you then have to take a hard look at yourself and realizing you are wasting your life and your money on being a simp. And because you don't want to come to grips with that reality, you would rather white knight for them because it's easier to accept than just admitting that you're a fucking loser.
That got really oddly specific, but
Dude, that's the psychology of a fucking simp, hands down.
they want to fuck their sister.
Like, listen, okay? I'm not gonna say that I don't spend money on my wife because I fucking do. But guess what? At the end of the day, I get to get some out of that. You know what I mean? Like these guys.
Yeah, I mean that's a difference.
Like
that's a difference from spending money
does she
on
have like an OnlyFans or something.
No, she doesn't have an OnlyFans. But
okay, I was gonna say like
she had an OnlyFans. I'd respect her a bit more. I'd respect her a bit more if she had an OnlyFans. At least then she'd be
honest.
Yeah.
She'd be honest. She's an e-thought, but she refuses to call herself an e-thought. At least Belle Delphine. I have so much respect for Belle Delphine. I don't think that she's particularly attractive either. But you know what? She owns being an e-ho. She owns that shit. She laughs at it. She indulges the hate and builds herself up as a villain and trolls everybody who hates her, all while making these amazing business decisions and making herself rich as fuck in the process. She is a fucking G, and she's taking advantage of this economy. It's not even the e-thoughts that are the fucking problem. I've said this before. The e-thoughts aren't even the fucking problem. They wouldn't exist if a bunch of thirsty-ass losers on the internet didn't exist. You guys, you simps created the market for e-thoughts, so it's your fucking fault. Because once the first Twitch streamer, whoever she was, who made a fuck ton of money, or YouTuber who made a fuck ton of money because she showed a little cleavage, once that happened, and and other people started realizing it happened, you created a fucking market with infinite demand, and then it became the new norm. Supply and demand.
Okay, the retards in Shadows are actually starting to get annoying because they aren't even fucking trying us. They're trying to act like fucking normies.
But Pookie's a gamer, yeah, and like in the same way that like my 3-year-old niece is a gamer, okay? Like,
also, yeah,
you can give a child a fucking game controller and let them play. That doesn't make them a gamer. It doesn't mean they're very good at it.
Yeah, Pokemon's like Pokemon is the diet version of Belle Delphine, right?
She's not the diet version. She's the 0-calorie version. She's like Coke Zero. Belle Delphine is like fucking. Belle Delphine is like Coca, is like cherry Coke, and she's Coke Zero.
Now you see, look, like you know, you got fucking Belle Delphine, who's like Dr. Pepper, right? Then you've got like fucking
32 flavors, and you don't get to taste none of them. I'm sorry.
Then you got fucking Pokemon that's like the fucking like store brand diet version. So you got like Dr. Pepper compared to like
she's like what is it, best value, like great value or something. Yeah, Sam's.
You got like Dr. Pepper compared to fucking Professor Pepper or something like that.
It's like no, she's not even a store brand. She is literally, do you know those like homemade soda machines where you can make your own like carbonated soda at home, and they come with like the little soda syrup packets? She's literally the soda syrup packet for off-brand Dr. Pepper.
Thank you, mods, for doing your job.
It's like when you go to the store. It's like, yeah, shout out to the mods, bro. It's like going to the store and you're gonna pick up some fucking Frosted Flakes, and all they have is like sugar flakes, and it's made by like some company in China, and the box is half the size, and like there's not even any actual sugar in them. You're basically buying cardboard like bran flakes. Like that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, basically Pokemon fucking ugly, okay? End of the story. She's unattractive physically, and she's unattractive
I wouldn't touch Pokemon if she I wouldn't touch Pokemon if she paid me. I keep saying fucking Pokemon because of the fucking meme. Because fucking Omni, you know who Omni is, right? Like the commentary guy. Because he called her Pokemon, so now that's stuck in my head because people have memed it, so like I've been calling her Pokemon, but yeah, Pokemon. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even fucking Pokemon's
Pokemon
dumb
is
simp fanbase was attacking
like
Omni. Like, if you attack Omni, something's wrong with you. He's the most chill person.
Omni is like, dude, he is literally the most neutral fucking like commentary channel in history. He's just over there and he's like, yeah, guys, today we're gonna relax and I'm gonna play some Smash. But while I'm playing some Smash, I'm gonna tell you about this crazy ass drama that's happening on YouTube. I ain't gonna be a part of it though, but let me soothe your soul and tell you about what's happening. Then I'm gonna give you a message of positivity and tell you how we are adults who can rise above this and not be immature little kids on the internet. Sincerely, Omni. Omni's entire channel right there.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I think that them banning Leafy just... I think it's probably one of the fucking dumbest things they could have done, because now people are just... And they're trying to ignore it, too. Team YouTube's trying to ignore it.
It has insane implications.
Yeah.
It has insane implications for freedom of speech on this platform. Again, that's the thing that I love about YouTube, right? Is that it's not Twitter. It's not sitting there banning people for their opinions, right? Like, but that's out the window now, right? It's like, you can hate me and call me all kinds of names. That's fine. Like, you're entitled to your opinion. You can think I'm a piece of shit, but YouTube is now going out there and saying, hey, you're not allowed to have a negative opinion on somebody, even if they are actually doing fucking fucked up things. Like, you can't talk about it. Like, you don't have a platform to criticize and talk about people anymore, because all they have to do, I guess all Onision has to do, is come out and say, I'm sorry, I'm a pedo, and then YouTube will ban anybody talking about him. Are you guys okay with that? Because that's the environment you're creating by allowing Leafy to be banned.
Well, I mean, also, like, I think the problem is, like, as well, there's a lot of channels that actually exist basically solely fucking from exposing, like, Onision, for an example, right? And those people who do that, are those channels now at risk because of the fact that they're exposing somebody for doing horrible things?
Well, I think that realistically, you would have to say that everybody's channel is at risk for criticizing others or having or expressing negative viewpoints or opinions of other channels. However, YouTube has clearly shown that it's biased and it's cherry picking. So, like, technically, no. Realistically, yes. But, you know, it really makes you think. But I wouldn't be calling the mods rude if you don't want to get banned, bro. yeah. Well, there you go. I see it, and then it unfolds in the live chat. Like, really? You're going to troll, and then you're going to come back with a rude? Like,
like, come on. Like, if you're gonna fucking... Like I said, if you're gonna fucking, like, come here to troll, at least fucking, like, be a fucking man about it and come and talk to us like fucking, like, men, right? Talk about
square peg round hole shit, guys.
Yeah.
To quote Capo directly, he's not the sharpest knife in the crayon box.
Yeah, but, like, seriously, fucking, what is wrong with these people?
I have been asking myself that question this entire year. Like, you know how everybody memes the whole, like, oh, maybe we really did die in 2012 and this is like an alternate reality. Like, the more that time goes on, the more batshit crazy this earth seems to get, and, like, just people in general, and it kind of makes you think, like,
yeah,
are we a simulation? Because, like, this is some next level shit. It's like somebody went and put in a cheat code on The Sims, and now everything is going to fucking shit. Like, everything's going crazy. I mean,
I'm not. Oh god, these people are so fucking stupid. Jesus.
So I think we've talked enough about Pokemon.
Yeah.
For now.
Let's talk about the fucking podcast and how, like, each one, because, like, if we really, this finale is supposed to be like a look back in the past on an old JoBros podcast and talking about each one, right? And just basically saying the history of this thing, because this is the last one. After this, we're gonna move on to a different podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that you starting the JoBros thing. I remember that you did it because your old podcast kind of like people were, got busy with life or whatever the case was, and they were kind of unable to like continue that dynamic with you. And so I remember the intent of starting the JoBros podcast, and you've had nothing but the best intentions going forward with this show, and it's just so much crap happens on the internet.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I'll tell you after the podcast, Zippity. But yeah.
But
I think me and Grim know.
yeah, we know. We're well aware of why there's so many dislikes. Trust me.
um, yeah. I mean, the first podcast, like when I was starting off the JoBros podcast, like the ones I instantly was like, I want Grim and I want somebody else who I won't mention because I refuse to mention their name ever again on the podcast.
Yep.
I want both of them because they're my friends. That ended up going south because of you two not really being able to get along.
I think that's an apt description. Like, I think that's like a very polite way of putting it.
Yeah. And so basically I was caught in the middle and I had to fucking constantly pick sides and like obviously I didn't want to, but like I was having to do this shit, right?
Well, to be fair, I always told you, like, now there was one point where I got really upset with you over it, but to be fair, in the beginning, I always told you, like, I won't make you pick. Do what you see fit, and I'm still going to be your friend no matter what. I did get upset. We did get into it a little bit whenever he left several times and then came back, and then he was like, well, I'm coming back. Here I am. And then, like that situation happened. I definitely was having a bad day. And then I get that news and I definitely didn't handle it the best. I admit that. It was just kind of a situation that, was unfavorable. And, we that didn't even really do much to her our friendship, I think, because like we literally like got over it immediately. I just said that like, hey, if something happens, like I'm just telling you now, I think it's not gonna work.
Yeah. So I think the first one was probably the best
But I
podcast that we
think
had.
I think a big issue with that is oh no, I agree. I think the first one was really good. We've had some good moments here. I mean, even that turd had some really memeable moments. You got to give him that.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, like I remember, I think it was the second podcast. He said something about like, "Oh, I'm tired of people saying that Obama is the first black president." Did he forget that we had Bill Clinton? And he said like, "My true N-word right there."
Oh, yeah. Was that the one where you like censored the N words that everybody dropped with like different sound effects?
Yeah.
That was hilarious. That was. I think it's been a long journey. There have been other people on the podcast too. People have come and go. I think I think we kind of did the wrong thing when we decided, hey, we're mad. Let's use the podcast to air dirty laundry.
Well, yeah.
I think we kind of messed up there.
Yeah. I mean, like, what was it? After... Fuck, I don't remember which one. I think it was after that podcast or something like that. I had made a video basically saying that I wasn't going to talk about, like, I wasn't going to talk about my friends anymore on fucking, like, on videos. And I've still stuck to that pretty much. I don't think I've said anything negative about people who were my friends. Yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah, I've kept true to that. I don't really want to talk shit about like people who were my friends at one point because I don't want to fucking like muddy up the, the part of a friendship that there was at one point, right? Like even if like they're complete assholes to me now, I don't want to fucking ruin that.
No, 100%. That's the way I look at it too. I agree with you 100%. I told you the other day, like I have very fond memories of like old times back in the server. I've talked about as much as I dislike a lot of the people that, for example, not naming names, but for example, the situation in Clyde server that you and I talked about, right?
Ah,
where I kind of stopped enjoying my time there because I, along with some other people, kind of called out what we felt was them kind of bullying the person who doesn't want his name said. And that kind of changed my perception of that server and the people in it. and I felt like all they cared about was money, and they like literally were trying to make people dance like trained monkeys for their own amusement and stuff like that. That made me like really not want to be there. And so the last straw again was whenever like I was being pushed to do things I didn't want to do. So I just said, "Fuck you, I'm leaving." And just because that happened doesn't mean that I can't look back and laugh at stuff that happened. Like the time when, there was a troll in there named Kaito who was like spurging out, and everybody was like bullying, like not bullying, but bullying on her. Like him, Nakatsuru, whatever the true identity of that person is. Like, there were still plenty of fun times in there. The whole Tyrese thing where he was debating the other black guy on whether or not black people are smart. Like just random funny stuff that happened. You know what I mean? Like I can look back at those things and go, that was pretty entertaining. That was funny. You know,
yeah.
um, like when you and I started talking again, we even talked about it. Like the old times that we had, and like so much stuff happens, and things change. People change into different people, and sometimes it's you grow apart because you become different people. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing anything wrong per se, but um, I think that you can still look back on moments you've had and like smile about it, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, some people try to cause like shit between us. Like I know fucking people going around trying to make you make a video on me when we were beefing,
yeah.
and like people were trying to get me to make
which
videos on you.
which you saw to my testament. Like I even admitted, I told you that I told them that and I showed you the screenshots already. When they came to me and they were like, I literally, for context, for anybody who doesn't know, I'm not going to name names, but some people reached out to me some months ago before Killer and I spoke, and they had just started sending a capo, and they started sending me like IRL information and pictures of capo. They basically were doing really horrible things and harassing Capo's family. And I was like, why are you sending me this stuff? And they were like, I don't know. I'm just being a nice person. And I'm like, so what you're trying to do is like cause drama and get me to use this in a way that like hurts this person. And I literally straight up told them, like, while I find it a little bit ironic, considering what like these same people did to me, and now they're doing it to Capo and trying to get me to be involved. I said, while I find that a little bit ironic, I am not going to support that. I'm not going to be a part of that. I'm not going to go and yeah, the person in chat,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
know exactly who
yeah,
we're talking about. So like I told them 100% rejoining the clothespin server. I got into an argument with them about that among other things, and then I banned them.
yeah. And not too long ago, you actually gave me like screenshots of them doing that in like in your DMs, right? Because like I'll admit, when you first
Yeah.
when you first gave me the story when I first joined back in the server, yeah, I didn't believe it. I didn't believe like
Which is
I
fine.
guess I know I believe that they did that. I believe that they sent that information to you. I just didn't believe that you were like I guess taking the high road I guess for it. Which you sent me the
Well, to me,
screenshots
it's
that
not
showing that.
even to me. It wasn't even a matter of like morality. It was the simple fact that like you were still somebody that I cared about. Like I was hurt and upset and pissed off because I felt like I felt like there was obviously a miscommunication somewhere down the line, and I feel like somebody capitalized on that and made me look like a really bad person and like kind of twisted everything against me when I, definitely wasn't doing what they were trying to like it wasn't what they were trying to say, right? Like whatever the fuck that they decided they were going to use was complete bullshit. And but like I understood that, like, because from the beginning, one of the things that I talked to Clothespins and the other mods in his server about was like I'm not, I'm hurt, I'm pissed off about the situation, but I'm not gonna go and make videos. I'm not gonna go and fight with these people. I'm not gonna do anything about it because I believe, and I told them straight up, the turd that used to be on the podcast with us, I was like, I feel like he's behind this whole thing. I really do, and I feel like eventually people will realize it, and if they don't, then it's whatever. It sucks that I've lost friends over this, but I'm not gonna go out and create more drama because it's gonna give all these people what they want. The people who are sitting there enjoying this show and want us to dance and fight each other because they don't want to get their hands dirty. I'd be playing right into their bullshit. And I genuinely still cared about you because once I got over being angry, I was just upset and I was just sitting there and I was like, well, listen, like I really miss like the dynamic we had. I really miss having him around and being friends, and like we have a little family that we have, and people could say that's cheesy or whatever, or they can say that it's fake bullshit and people online aren't family or friends or whatever. Look, you can look at it however you want. That's your opinion and you're entitled to it. But I feel personally that we had something really cool that a lot of people on the internet don't get to experience together. And I mean, we have that again. But I was mostly just upset that we didn't have that at the time. And as you saw when you came back in the Clothespin server, I didn't even delete your legendary quotes. I didn't go and erase you. I didn't go and talk shit about you to everybody in like general and stuff. I wasn't in there like, oh yeah, we used to have this other piece of shit in the server. Like,
I
didn't
mean,
do that.
I did check staff room, and there was a couple of things said about me there.
Yes, yes, which I fully admitted that to you though, that like when everything went down, like I wasn't too happy about it, and I did like say some bullshit because I was honestly furious. The allegations that were brought against me were pretty like they call into question my integrity as a person,
Maybe later,
and
chat. Maybe later.
you can say what you want about me. You can call me a dickhead. You can call me an asshole or whatever. But I have integrity, right? I am not out here trying to lie on the internet. I don't gain anything from lying on the fucking internet. I own my shit. I have been an asshole. I've fucking done shit for the sake of just entertainment in it. But at the end of the day, Clothespin says, he told us there's two different types of drama, right? There's fun drama and then there's not fun drama. When we did stuff like the Sun's Icon videos and stuff, or I've done like my little 5-minute diss tracks or whatever, that's stuff where I look at that as fun drama because I don't even look at it as drama. I look at it as I'm having fun. I'm using this platform to have a good time. And even if it's at somebody else's expense, it's not anything personal. It's not like I hate this person, right?
Yeah.
Um, what's not fun is like the drama that happened recently, and I'm not going to bring up the whole situation with that. But even in the beginning, I didn't have any enjoyment out of the situation. When we made that podcast to go and tell people like, hey, these people are accusing us of murder and all this stuff, when we did that, I wasn't enjoying a fucking goddamn second of this because this stuff is serious. I take stuff like suicide and depression very seriously because you know my past. You know how it is. And you remember how much I was upset when people brought your, depression and stuff up as a subject of bullying. And that's not something that I can tolerate. So I wanted to clear the air because that was not at all fun. And the more that this went on, the more that it was bullshit. And the only reason I put out that other video wasn't because I wanted to continue like having this fucking boxing match on YouTube, even though that's the thumbnails use, which is kind of ironic. But when I made that video, it was intending to be an anime's video because of the whole thing about where and you've seen the evidence for yourself.
Yeah.
So has other people, where he literally brags about like, hey, I pretended to be a rape victim to get vulnerable women to talk to me, right? That's really fucked up. As somebody who has known people who have gone through rape and trauma like that, and having experience with that and everything, like that's something I take seriously. And so I was going to do that video regardless of this drama. And when people started connecting the dots and like adding other people into the drama, I figured I would just make one video to address it all at once, after the podcast, and then I'd be done with it. And I did. At that point, I shifted to Vaughn, who obviously we have like no problem with, and he doesn't have a problem with us. I shifted to him because a lot of people were going to his side, and I wanted to bring their hatred my way. I knew if I went and made a video and a diss track, he would go and make like 10,000 videos about me, and it worked. And the reason I did that wasn't for clout. It's because I wanted to get everybody's attention off of you and off of the other people in Clothespin server who didn't deserve the harassment, who had nothing to do with any of it. People who were doxxed. I wanted that shit to quit. If people wanted to go and dox me and people wanted to do stuff to me, whatever, fine. But I would rather be the target than have you or anybody else be the target. So that was my intention. And I did not have a fucking good time. I was pissed.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I fucking knew that this stuff was bullshit, I just kind of like, I was like, I don't want anything to do with this situation. It's dumb. It's ego versus ego, pretty much.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's why I went out and stepped up and said, "Hey, I will be the ego because I would rather be the one that's getting attacked." That's how I feel about it. I mean, you can believe it or you cannot believe it, but at the end of the day, that's just what I wanted to do. I did the same thing back when the old drama happened, when your depression was made fun of, when other people in the Clothespin server were attacked. When me and Clothespins made the truce that we made and we agreed to, stop, the YouTube drama bullshit with the person at that time, it was to protect everybody else in the server, because people like even one of your mods in chat was getting drug into shit that he had no business being in. And you yourself were drug into shit that you had no business being in. So when we did that, it was the same shit. It was literally like, hey, you can talk shit on us all you want, but stop bringing innocent people into this garbage. It's not fun. It's just bullshit. Which is, I think that's actually a good turning page to talk about, because we're still talking about the podcast. We kind of got off on a tangent. That's my fault.
Yeah.
But I think one of the major reasons that you want to start fresh and do a new podcast is because I also think that we have grown as people through all of this. If there's any good side to all of this, we've grown as people. And growing as people has made us grow as creators. And I think we want to take our channels in a different direction than we did in the past. You think that's a fair statement?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely want to get off of the stupid, like, commentary shit and start doing stuff that I enjoy.
Which, mind you, like I said, I have no problem like being on podcasts and doing like a little bit of commentary, like the leafy stuff or politics or whatever it is that we want to talk about, right?
Hold on one moment.
And I'm fine.
Hold on one moment.
Okay.
I need to do something real quick. All right, there we go. Yeah, sorry, I had to check something real quick.
Oh, you're good. But like I told you, I think there's no problem with making videos about things you're passionate about. I think social commentary is fine, but I would rather focus commentary videos I do on stuff that actually matters. At the end of the day, a lot of the YouTube stuff doesn't matter. Now, that's not to say we can't talk about it, right? Because like the stuff like the Leafy thing also involves freedom of speech, and there's a lot of implications there for people who use this platform. So it's something that can affect us directly, right? But I think when it comes to just being like, oh, this person makes boo-boo trash content, I'm gonna laugh at their trash content. I mean, that's not something I think I want to be involved in. And at the end of the day, if I want to make a video that's commentary, I would rather come out and talk about something like, let's talk about the Portland riots, or like let's talk about the state of gun laws, or whatever the case may be. Things that matter. COVID-19.
COVID-19. Oh fuck. Yeah, I forgot we were gonna talk about that.
Well, I mean, if you want to segue into that now, I'm cool. I was just making the point that like I'd rather talk about shit like that than just be like, ho ho, this person is stupid on YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, I I said I
Are
was.
you okay over there?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I was just, I said something about talking about COVID on here, but I don't know if I really want to. My only point was just that I was going to talk about was just him being COVID being, um, like there's a bit of an odd thing going on with the Fauci, the guy who's like in charge of the fucking like COVID task force or whatever. He's a bit of a fucking like
Sure.
there's a bit of sus things about him. Um,
I thought you were gonna say he's a bit incompetent.
Oh yeah, I mean he is, but like he's either incompetent or he's lying about something because like back with like
Well,
because hydrochloroquine or whatever the fucking thing that is being used for like that they're saying you shouldn't use as like treatment.
I know.
That
I know.
was actually seen to be like a medical use like for COVID by Fauci. He was the one that actually was the one that discovered that. For COVID.
It had medical uses before COVID.
Yeah, but I mean,
people
what I'm saying
used
is
it for medical purposes before COVID. It's safe.
Yeah, and like the thing is, he's saying that it's not safe and all this stuff, and I'm like, well, he also said that it was a good treatment for COVID back with like, not COVID-19, but the other forms of COVID. And I'm like, if it's not safe at all, why the fuck would you say it's safe for other COVIDs?
You want a prime example of how the media twists things because they all have a biased political agenda and they want to make us all fight each other and continue being like consumerist sheep, okay? When the chloroquine thing happened, do you remember the big running story about like, oh, this woman and her husband took chloroquine and her husband died, right?
Yeah.
So what they didn't show you, okay, because they basically pushed her to say like, oh, Donald Trump told us to take it, so we took it, my husband's dead, right? What they didn't tell you is that this old couple is just retarded. Now, before anybody's like, why are you just bashing old people? Okay, now before you jump to conclusions, let me explain why this particular couple of old people are fucking retarded, okay? The woman stated in an interview that actually still exists somewhere on the interwebs. You'd have to look for it, okay, but it's out there. And she stated in an interview, well, we heard the Donald and other people talking about chloroquine being the cure for the COVID. And I remembered that I had some chloroquine that we used to clean out the fish tank. And so we got that and we...
Oh, wait, shit.
And then my husband died.
Sorry, I accidentally unplugged my my headphones.
Oh. So if you take the context clues of that, what did she say? She said that her and her husband heard that chloroquine was good, and they had some chloroquine that they used as fish tank cleaner. Okay, so what we can gather from her own admission there is that they did not take medical chloroquine. They got some fish tank cleaner, looked on the back and said, "Oh, look at that word! It's either it had chlorine and they thought it was chloroquine, or maybe the fish tank cleaner did contain trace amounts of chloroquine." Okay, but the chloroquine isn't what killed them. It's everything else that was in the fish tank cleaner that killed her husband, because they're the fucking retards who drank fish tank cleaner because they thought it had chloroquine, or maybe it did have chloroquine in it. Donald Trump and anybody else never said, hey, go drink fish tank cleaner. They said, take chloroquine. They drank fish tank cleaner, and that's why her husband is fucking dead. But the media's like, nah, they took chloroquine like Trump said. Trump's fucking orange man bad. He killed this man. Impeach him. Like, that's how it got twisted, right? And I'm not even talking about political affiliations and saying that I agree with Trump or the things he does or whatever. It has nothing to do with that, but it does have to do with common sense and actually going and like looking at this. I don't know anybody who can hear up, yep, this couple drank fish tank cleaner, it must be Donald Trump's fault. I don't know how anybody can come to that conclusion.
Yeah, like
So
Christ.
that started the whole chloroquine is not safe thing, and that has obviously snowballed into what we have today, which is a bunch of fucking retards who shouldn't even have PhDs and should have all their doctor's license revoked, running around spreading a bunch of false information because they're all biased as well. We have the World Health Organization over there who was suppressing facts about COVID from China and stuff, and one of the people who worked at the lab in Wuhan that this stuff is supposedly from, which by the way, they did test the lab in Wuhan, and one of the labs they tested had a virus that was a 99.9% match to COVID. Okay, so I think it's fair to say at this point that that's probably its originating point. Okay, and one of the people who worked in that lab was a moderator on Facebook who is one of the people who goes and tags and takes down posts for containing misinformation. And he was flagging down posts that led back to China or Wuhan in any way, or the lab he worked for, or the World Health Organization, and he was flagging them all for containing misinformation so people wouldn't believe the truth when they saw it. If that doesn't tell you something.
Well, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I think the problem also comes with the fact that like these social media companies have so much fucking power, right?
It's absurd.
Yeah, like, you know, I'm not usually one of these people who like are like a kind of sound like a leftist fucking retard or whatever and saying like, oh, these companies have too much power. No, but social media companies have way too much fucking power.
Anarchy, no government, down with the man. We're gonna build us a Chaz everywhere.
But yeah, the like Facebook, Google, I'd say Amazon as well. Like companies like that are so fucking massive that like it's a problem.
Oh my God! Did you hear that Jeff Bezos' ex-wife donated $1.7 billion to charity?
That's more money
This
than
is
anyone.
how-
Like that's more
this
money
is-
than we'll ever see in our entire fucking lives.
This is how rich Jeff Bezos and Amazon is, okay? He got divorced. His wife got like triple digit billions or something crazy like that. This woman has so much money. She was fine with donating almost $2 billion to charity because that's how much money she got from divorcing Jeff Bezos, and that wasn't even a drop in the bucket to him, okay? And now please explain to me why he shouldn't be paying taxes.
Why not? Why be left or right? Why not up or down? I'd much rather not be down. Fucking Down syndrome.
I'm always down. I'm a retarded piece of shit. I know. I know.
Yeah.
Uh, but no, like, oh my God. Like, do you see what I mean, though? Like, doesn't it, like, give your brain a little pause moment where you're trying to, like, consider how absurd these statements are? Like,
Yeah.
it's true, but it's also absurd. It just makes me think of, like, Woody Harrelson wearing a tinfoil hat, like, telling people, like, man, the government was behind food stamps. Like, they're using food stamps to assassinate the black population with diabetes. Because food stamps equals fried chicken. It's like that level of absurdity. Did somebody just say Obama cone? What the fuck?
Obama. What?
Somebody in chat said Obama cone. I don't know what that means.
I think it's some kind of fucking meme.
Is it like an ice cream cone?
I'm fucking. We're boomers now. We don't fucking understand these new memes.
We're doomer boomers.
Yeah.
Dude, we're top 10 anime boomer parents. We're over there like I'm fucking Bunta Fujiwara over here like chain smoking my fucking cigarettes and forcing my fucking son to become an illegal street racer, and you're over there and you're like, I don't know, which anime dad do you get to be? I don't know.
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, what are you doing over there? You're like,
Well, I'm texting,
So
okay?
non. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a good conversation? Like you getting some like nudes over there?
No, I'm not getting any nudes, but
Ordering a pair of Jordans.
no, I have a pair of Jordans. I'm good with mine. But
Gotta rock those Air Force One. Critical Geek. Fried chicken is delicious, especially Popeye's chicken sandwich. Well, I'm glad you endorsed that. We are not sponsored by Popeyes, but
that's like the
if
fucking
Popeyes would like to sponsor my boy Capo's channel.
that's like those fucking like those fucking that company that fucking donates to like Twitch streamers like $3 to $5 something like that, and it's like, oh, with this you could get like this from Burger King or something like that.
Oh, the Whopper thing,
Yeah.
dude, that's brilliant. Like, okay, look, like fast food companies have stepped up their game. First, we had Wendy's, who was just savagely roasting everybody on Twitter, and now we have Burger King, who's going and donating on like massive Twitch streams, so their donation message is read, and it's like, pick up a fucking Impossible Whopper today. Like, it's fucking so good, dude. I applaud these companies.
Yeah, I mean,
Ooh, that's a good question.
what?
Zippity Sticks asks, would you rather eat Taco Bell or McDonald's?
Taco Bell.
Both are kind of horrible for your stomach, and they're gonna give you the shits later. Like you're gonna regret your choice later,
No, I
McDonald's
mean,
or Taco
look,
Bell.
if you
But
really want the shits later, you're gonna have to fucking have some you're gonna have to have some fucking uh White Castle.
yo, Clothespins the goat is in chat.
Oh hell yeah.
He's telling everybody to go and drop some likes. That's right, fucking like nuke. Fucking drop Jake Paul's $90,000 Mercedes couch on that like button.
Yeah.
References that people totally get because we're hip. We're not boomers. We
Yeah.
promise.
Yeah, fucking like maybe I'm fucking like the 1% in this, but I actually like Taco Bell.
I don't mind Taco Bell. They have things that I particularly like. I think like their loaded potato griller is really good. I got to try a clothespin Simps for us, dude. Like
Oh, that's fucking
that is
gold.
absolutely the highest honor that we
Yeah.
could ever have.
Fucking
Absolutely.
gold.
I think that like their grilled cheese burrito box thing's pretty decent. I have always liked the Baja Blast, right? So the Taco Bell has some really good qualities, but like at Burger King, I mean McDonald's kind of has like some more variety though. Like McDonald's has some fire chicken nuggets, dude. Like you can't sleep on their chicken nuggets. They got better chicken nuggets than like Burger King and Wendy's. I'm just gonna say that.
Oh, well, I don't agree with Wendy's. I fucking love Wendy's chicken nuggets.
Dude, I like Wendy's. Wendy's is dope, okay? But like McDonald's and plus McDonald's over there feeling themselves with the dollar drinks, and they got the Tropic Berry Sprite, which I'm not a Sprite person. But can I say that Tropic Berry Sprite is the most delicious thing ever? Like I'm not a Sprite person at all. Like I know people who are like, I'm gonna go to like a gas station and get like a cherry or a grape Sprite or something. Like me, I've never been that person. But the Tropic Berry Sprite is one of the most refreshing sodas that I have ever had, and I will never get anything else at McDonald's besides that.
Yeah, if my two
Like
IQ
it has
brain,
converted me.
if my two IQ brain didn't think that that was the real Popo before, it 100% is. It's saying Chicky Nuggies. That's 100%.
I knew it was the real
Yeah.
Popo. He came in and was like, "I'm the fake Popo." It is how I knew he was the real Popo.
Yeah. But yeah, fuck. Yeah, no, I mean, Wendy's at least has a
That's a
working
tough
fucking
one.
ice cream machine. To be fair.
You know what we should do? We should do like a fucking fast food tier list, like everybody and their mother's already done a
fuck
thousand
yes.
times.
Yes.
Here's the question. Here's a highly debated topic, right? In-N-Out or Five Guys?
Well, I have never had In-N-Out, so I can only say Five Guys.
In-N-Out is the bomb. I've had it. I've been out in Vegas. I had it. It was really good. The thing is, In-N-Out, Five Guys is also awesome. However, you cannot get a Five Guys burger. You cannot get a double animal style at Five Guys. You know what I'm talking about? Like y'all out there, you know. You know what I'm talking about the animal style.
Why is it gotta
I'm
be?
waiting for that one person in chat to just be like, you're both wrong. It's Whataburger.
Why the fuck is it? Why is it called Five Guys? That's so fucking sexist. Why isn't it like five persons?
Brie Larson is very upset. She will not eat at Five Guys, okay? Because it should be called Five Non-Binary Non-People.
Non-people?
Oh yeah, because
No,
they could identify as not people. They could identify as plants. Like we
make
can't.
like a fucking vegetarian version of Five Guys. Just fucking make it fucking 6 women.
Five. Six Bush.
6 Bush.
6 Bush. How would you like? And then you go in and like everything on the menu is a sexual reference. Like, oh, you want the Impossible buns? How would you like that done? You want the hedges trimmed, or you want a full bush? You know, like whether you want like lettuce and the topping. Yeah, and it's just like, you know, the fucking thing is like 10 years ago you could have got away with that restaurant. Now, I mean, as long as it's owned by a bunch of like non-binary, like female-ish people, you could probably get away with it. But like only because like they will just pull a fucking discrimination card if you try to say something about it.
So you're saying because I'm gender fluid, I could potentially I could open up a restaurant and do that and not get in trouble.
You being gender fluid, you could go shit in the middle of a Walmart aisle, like just in the middle of the aisle. And then when you're being arrested, when you go to court, you just tell the judge, I identified Walmart's floor as a toilet. I'm gender fluid. And then they have to, by law, like give you a thumbs up, give you a standing ovation, and then you just walk out of the courtroom while everybody does a Bollywood musical number.
Yeah, but I'm white, so
I mean,
I wouldn't get arrested in the first place.
Hey, listen, dude, listen. Remember the like civilization like originated in Africa, so technically you're like 1% black. Congratulations, my guy. Like you're a minority.
I mean, cool. I guess I don't.
Capo for the role of Black Panther in the next movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna take creative liberties and make the character Pink Panther.
But the pink stands for pussy. The Pussy Panther. You're just gonna be called P Panther to avoid copyright infringement.
Nah, dude.
Yeah.
Who gives a
people
shit
are like,
about?
oh, it's pink. That's copy. No, it's not pink for Pink Panther. It's pink for Pussy Panther.
Nah. Like, who cares about copyright? Fucking Disney doesn't give a shit. Disney will buy Pink Panther.
Disney can buy everything. Like they don't have to worry about copyright. Like that's Disney.
Disney, joke's on you. Disney bought you virginity.
Disney. Your ex-wife, owned by Disney. Guess who you're paying alimony payments now to? It's the mouse, motherfucker. I've got your kids now. If you want to see a little Timmy, you better fork over a Disney Plus subscription. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know why, but like thinking about Disney made me think about fucking like, I don't know why, but it made me think of Jukin Media.
Jukin Media.
So, like, I want to talk about this because I fucking fuck Jukin Media.
Go for it.
For those who don't know who Jukin Media is, Jukin Media is like a company that will buy fucking videos that they think are gonna go viral, right? A lot of cat videos and shit like that, whatever that you see on your fucking Facebook feed if you ever fucking look at Facebook and you're a boomer like me. You know, those are probably owned by
People
Jukin.
who still watch cat videos.
Fuck you, cats are cute. But Jukin Media owns them pretty much. Almost all of those type of videos they will buy the rights to as quick as they can. And anyone who reposts those videos, regardless of fair use, they will fucking like strike down those videos and basically say, "Hey, if you want your channel back, pay us $4,000."
Oh, that's like the retards who buy up like website domain names. Like you got like dudes who are out there like oh man, like the Facebook.com domain name's gonna be up in 5 years. I better save up and buy that motherfucker. Then I'm gonna extort Mark Zuckerberg for the fucking name.
Oh, but it gets worse. It gets worse.
Oh no.
Yeah, because they've done a couple of shady things before. Like in the past, like there was this one person who sold sold one of the video rights to them, but they also, like, before they sold the video rights, they allowed their friends to post that video onto their private Facebook pages, right? Well, Jukin Media didn't give a shit and fucking, like, striked their pages and got their pages locked, their accounts locked. And so the dude emails Jukin Media, is like, hey, look, I told these people that it's fine for them to post this. And Jukin Media responds back with, oh, you want your friends to get their accounts back? Pay us $4,000 for each account. And then there's another
$4,000 is so oddly specific.
And then there's another case where they just straight up didn't buy the rights of a video to somebody. They just took the video, copyrighted it, like basically went to a copyright firm, copyrighted it, and then claimed it as their property.
You legally cannot, like, that won't hold up in court.
Yeah, no, it won't hold up in court at all. But like, the problem is
that's
like
intellectual theft.
Be like that guy, right? The guy who fucking made that video. Probably like some fucking normal person working a 9 to 5, right?
Chinese drop shippers.
Like a normal person working like your 9 to 5 or something like that, and then you get fucking your shit stolen by a fucking company that has like millions of dollars. You're not gonna be able to fucking go and court battle them.
Fucking CEO from Google comes and murders your goddamn parents, and they're just like, prove it, bitch.
Yeah, there's been a couple of law firms that have taken interest in taking in battling Jukin Media though. So,
well, yeah, a lot of law firms, a lot of actually lawyers will do pro bono work for you if and only if they think there's a strong case of them winning, which what they really want is for the company to settle with you out of court, because the secondary condition is that should you win, they are entitled to like 20% of whatever the fuck you win or whatever. So like if you go and sue McDonald's or whatever, right, and they're obviously going to settle out of court with you, and so then, you know, you get like 5 million and they get a fucking cut of that. So, you know.
Ah, fuck. Oh, my head. Anyway, yeah, we kind of jumped around.
We did.
What the fuck was... Okay, so the first episode of the podcast, we already talked about that. It was a great one. We talked about fucking second status on that one.
We shit talk Kai on that podcast. Good times.
Yeah, I mean, God. No offense to Kai, but that was probably the best podcast we had. Absolute banger. Then I think the second one was the one that we did on oh fuck, it was just us talking shit about like politics, stuff like that, and then we also talked about like Gogeta, aka the Big A Gaming.
The Big A Gaming,
yeah.
The guy who won 300 debates in a row, which I don't. A lot of you may not be caught up with that situation with me because I haven't been on the podcast in a long time. But it's kind of funny because after all this happened, I ended up talking to this young fellow by the name of Jade, also known as Seth Jr. to a lot of people, and Jade happened to share the debate servers with Gogeta, where he was claiming to have won 300 straight debates in a row. So I went to those debate servers and I called them out in general and was like, hey, Gogeta's over here, like I said the screenshot, like he's sitting over here telling us how he like was won 300 plus debates in a row here. Which one of you guys has he beaten, 300 times or whatever? And everybody was sitting there like, what? This Spurg more like 300 losses. He couldn't debate his way. And so like he got exposed because he was fucking going around telling lies, and like he never spoke at those servers again, to my understanding, which is just really funny.
Yeah, and then he got really mad about you. He was saying like, "Oh, why are you trying to like go around and like make me look bad in other servers?" And it's like, it's not like you're just saying what he said. He's making himself look bad.
Yeah, and the whole thing where he's like, I'm a serious debater. You heard of Realm of Splash, my guy? And I'm like, yeah, what about it? And he's like, oh, I'm a quite known debater in there. And I'm like, really? You are? It's kind of funny that I'm in that server and you ain't beating nobody in there. And he's like, oh, well, like, I guess I wouldn't compare myself to, like, those people, but, like, otherwise I'm high tier. And I'm just like, oh, are you?
I like how he's tier listing tier listing fucking debating. There's
versus debating at that, like shit God. That nobody gives a fuck about.
You saying that, but
but
we working on a fucking versus video.
okay, but we're not doing the versus meme debating where it's like, GG, you concede. You
Yeah,
judged one of his debates.
yeah.
Yeah,
We're just
I know,
it's
and
more
he
of a
probably
discussion.
never beat anybody, right? I
Yeah, yeah,
judged, like,
yeah.
I even
Actually,
told him, I
actually,
was like,
let
you
me let me
remember that?
let me say this. The one in chat, that we're not gonna mention his name or whatever. The one in chat, he he actually debated the one that, like, after he was bragging that he had like 300 straight like wins and all this shit or whatever. He was bragging about that shit to Flyest and him, and Flyest is
Oh
like,
yeah, that was
yeah,
when Flies debated, and
yeah,
the guy
Flyest is
in
like,
chat was the judge for that, right?
yeah. Flyers was like, oh yeah, okay, if that's true, then debate me on this. And like the guy in chat was the judge, and he ended
And
up.
he was like, I didn't agree to the
Yeah,
judge.
yeah. He was like, I didn't agree to the judge. It's like,
But he only raised that concern after he lost the debate and judgment was rendered. Because it wasn't rendered in his favor, then all of a sudden he had a problem with the judge. And that's when I came in and said, okay, let me judge. And then he just ran. And he ran to these other debate servers. And that's where I went. And like, when he was doing the Realm of Splash stuff, I was like, you know what's funny? Because you remember Webcam Parrots debate with Finger? I was the guy who fucking judged that debate along with Yulveric and fucking Eli, which those two were both biased. And I was the only like neutral party there because I didn't know Finger or Parrot at the time. And so I was like, he's like, oh, that was you. And I was like, yeah, so I know that you haven't beaten anybody in that server either. And then at that point, he just stopped talking and blocked me.
Capo, Grim, who's better, Zamasu, Zamasu, or Zamasu? Answer fucking fucking with shotgun. Okay, shut up.
The answer is clearly Jacksepticeye.
Yeah, Jacksepticeye's forehead wins all fights.
Yesterday we asked you.
That's Jack's films.
I know. That's just what it made me think of, though.
Yeah,
Because
his
that
forehead.
one video I
Actually,
showed
fair
you
enough.
was, like,
His
really
forehead
good.
actually is more powerful than Jacksepticeye's. Jacksepticeye's fucking like his fucking little whip thing that he does. That's fucking powerful. Not for the more than the laddies.
The amount of debates. But yeah, no, that's a good example too. When I said earlier about the Clyde server thing, like one of the things I remember fondly was the Tournament of Power, because me and the guy in the chat were supposed to tag team these other guys about Christianity versus Islam and this like meme debate thing. And one of the guys ended up backing out. So the guy in chat's like, nah, Grim, you go ahead and do the debate. Like you can be the one. And then we did, and it was fucking hilarious. And it was just fun. And he was like giving me all these scans, like, cause I was like, damn it, I got to go open the Bible and find all this stuff that I want to use. And he was like, nah, fam, I got you. And just was like sending me all the, like, he had all this Bible stuff loaded up. It was just like, here you go. Destroy this man's.
I fucking love the term of I had to get scans from the Bible.
Official scans, bitch. I want the King James version too. None of that translated new King James version shit. I want the old King James version scans.
Okay, yeah, second one we talked about the Big A gaming, and I think the big reason why we talked about that was because of his fucking bullshit he did with his fucking, like, saying that he was fucking, like, oh, he was gonna die in, like, fucking the hospital or some shit.
Oh yeah, when he was like, I'm having fatal surgery. He literally referred to it as fatal surgery at one point, and was like, can you have Clothespin shout me out in a video? It's like my last wish. Like,
that's fucking
he was basically on that, dude. That was so fucking good.
Hey, Clothespins, just to let you know, I'm actually dying of clogging my dick. Can you fucking shout me out?
Yeah, when we collab in there, big guy, like,
oh yeah, also, yeah,
don't forget. Oh my God, Android 18. Now here's the beautiful part too, because this was brought to my attention. So Android 18, you remember what my server that I opened up and then did.
Yeah. I think you got to give. I think you got to give a little context to the fucking people watching that don't know though, like who the fuck Android 18 is.
Yeah. I just want to throw out this little tidbit first, and then I'll give context. But so the guy in chat who brought that up is one of the people who was like setting my stuff in my server up. Like he's a mod in there, right? And he set like the rules and stuff, and like he was in there like, you know, like fucking being the law in that server, okay? And at that time, Android 18 created a server, and she got an invite into my server at some point. And I don't even remember how, but she goes in there, okay? She invites everybody to her server. We go to her server, and she copy and pasted this man's entire rule set that he put in my server, word for word in her server, and modeled every single channel after every single channel that was set up in my server. She copy pasted my whole server.
Like, imagine being that fucking, like, brain dead that you can't even figure out, like, what you want to do with
your post as a Discord server.
Yeah, like, fucking, god damn it. Like, I can understand, like, looking at a Discord server and going, okay, I want to, like, use this as a basis and then just, like, making it your own. Basically, like, oh, I like that this one has an anime section or something like that. Doing that. I can understand that, but just copying word for word.
I'm gonna go set up my own auto roll.
Yeah, but, like, copying word for word is fucking stupid.
She even copied, like, the word spurgs, which was, like, the big thing. Like, that's how you knew. Like, she'd never heard that word before. For context, the Big A Gaming went and started dating some online e-thought who was probably a 40-year-old man behind a computer screen, let's be real. And she called herself Android 18. And this is what's great about this entire situation.
I will say, if it's a 40-year-old man, that 40-year-old man can sound like a woman, because, like, I had to get in a call with both her and fucking Vegeta once. Not Vegeta.
So...
Gogeta.
So, the vegetable, let's call him the vegetable. The vegetable, and I'm not talking about Gogeta. We'll call him Belly Button.
No, we can just call him Gogeta. Fuck that.
The vegetable had a little thing for e-thoughts online, being the scuzzlord that he is, and he ended up developing this thing for Android 18, and they were flirting, okay? And this was Gogeta's girlfriend, by the way. And she ends up, I guess, telling him, or he coerces it out of her. At this point, I'm not entirely sure what's even true anymore. Apparently, Gogeta, big A flaming over there, belly button man himself. Apparently, he was very abusive to Android 18, and she was this horrible victim, and Vegetable was going to be her knight in shining armor and come scoop that e-thought right up off her feet and make himself a wife. Asian mail order bride style, okay? So he comes and brings us into his little crusade, and we find this, we're being told all this information about her being abused and all this stuff, right? We go talk to Gogeta because he is actually displaying some pretty toxic signs. In the Clothespin server at one point, I think it was in there or it was in Cavo server, it's hard to remember. But we were talking about art at one point, and he said that he couldn't stand his girlfriend because she's always like over competitive about art or whatever, right? But this is how he phrased it. He said, I do these drawings, and my girlfriend does her drawings, and I know my drawings are better than hers. I know that I am a better artist, because her drawings are actually shit. But she always says that her art is better, and it pisses me off. And she doesn't realize she's a toxic, over-competitive bitch and all this stuff, right? Yeah, it was in Clothespin server, because he had me, like, playing fucking pseudo-psychologist or whatever, right? Because, like, he was, like, over there trying to tell me he was in a toxic relationship with this Android 18. And then I was like...
No, wait, no, it was in my server. It was in my server. At this point, he was already banned from Clothespins.
Okay. So what it sounded like, well, this was like one of my first interactions with him, I think, but I don't know. But I don't remember. It's been so fucking long. This was
later, yeah.
Okay. But so I was like, you know, what's interesting to me about this is the fact that your girlfriend probably, you said like she stuck out her tongue and everything. She's probably joking and going, nah, my art's better or whatever. Whereas you are sitting there and you are telling us, I'm a better artist. I know for a fact I'm better and her art is shit. That makes you the toxic person because you're genuinely sitting there putting your girlfriend down and feeling the need to put her down to get your own artistic ability over. That screams toxic to me. So we had some precedents for believing that he was toxic and abusive towards her, which in all honesty, he probably was. It definitely seems like he was. But also, she's not without fucking her own fucking blame, okay? Because... come to find out, when she gets everybody all geared up to go at Gogeta for him being like a woman beating piece of shit or whatever, right? Everybody goes to confront him. He goes and talks to her and convinces her to come back and tell us, oh, he never abused me.
Yeah,
I lied
actually,
about everything.
like what happened was she had fucking talked to me and fucking DMs and saying like, oh well, he's doing this, he's abusive like this and blah 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 blah, and like convinced me that like I need to fucking like make a video to like freaking humble him down or something. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll fucking smack his ass with fucking truth. Fine, I fucking present my evidence, right? And then after I make my fucking video, and I was gonna make a second part because like there's more evidence that I couldn't get to it within the time of me doing that first one, right? While I was making that first one, more evidence.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Out.
We were gonna do a part 2.
Yeah, and before the part 2 happened, right? She like Gogeta talked to her, and then she was like, "Oh no, he wants to talk to you in a call," and I'm like, "No, I'm not talking to the fucker." And then, and then she was like, but he needs to talk to you, blah blah blah. And then like I was like, okay, no. And then she called me, and like. And him, and so I fucking answer it, and then she's like basically taking his side while he's in the call, right? And then like basically defending him, and then like after I leave the fucking call, right? She starts DMing me again, and then getting my like trying to say that like that she's supporting me, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
He forced me to say that like I agree with him or whatever. Also, to address Charlie Hunnam's comment in the chat about vegetable psycho e-girl, is he referring to that Autumn chick, the one who was like the Snapchat whore? Is that what he's talking about?
Probably.
Because I remember Vegeta, like, he would get into, like, Discord calls with her for hours at a time. I'm sorry, Vegetable, sorry. Vegetable would get into Discord calls with her for, like, hours at a goddamn time. And, like, he thought that they were, like, a legit couple and boyfriend and girlfriend and stuff. And I remember that we were all, like, thinking that she was probably a dude. And so, like, she actually Snapchatted me. And it was like some like 14-year-old like e-whore, like Snapchat whore, who was literally going around and Snapchatting everybody she could and saying like, feature me, daddy, ooh, and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, then there's that one time he dated like
I deleted my Snapchat because I just told her like, I don't use Snapchat. I don't know how this works. We were all just kind of curious if you were actually a man or not that was trolling Vegetable. And then literally she's like, oh, okay. And then literally I still had it installed, but I never talked to her or whatever. And literally she would just send me messages at like 3 in the morning or whatever. And she'd be like, oh, how are you doing? I'm laying in bed right now. Like, and like all kinds of stuff, right? And like, dude.
I think that, wait.
Like.
Yeah, was that the 20, like, is that the one that was, like, he's referring to, the 20-year-old or whatever, that was just, like...
Yeah, I don't think she was actually 20, though, was she? Because, like, she looked hella young, dude.
Well, she was claiming she was 20 at the very least.
Because, like, I remember seeing her on Snapchat or whatever, and I was just like, no, this is like a fucking child. This is like a 15-year-old or something. Like, at least look that way. Maybe she's 20, maybe she's 15, but yeah, it's the same one. She would scream inappropriate things, yeah. And she would, like, she was Snapchatting at me all the time and stuff, and I told, like, I literally was like, dude, I have a wife, leave me alone. Like, I'm not, but she was always just like, but I need somebody to talk to, Grim. Like, I need some attention or whatever, and I would just be like, dude, like, go fucking talk to Vegetable. And she'd be like, he's busy, pouty face. And I deleted Snapchat and was like, dude. And then she just kept being like a fucking whore in the clothespin server trying to get attention. So I ended up banning her, which pissed off fucking Vegetable. Because, like, he would come over and take our side, and, like, when we talked about it, he'd be like, oh yeah, total e-thought. And then, like, he was in DMs, like, simping for her, like, oh, baby, marry me, I can't wait to have your children, let me draw you some JoJo fan art, Dragon Ball style.
Yeah, he's a fucking total fucking, like, you know, I joke around about being a simp in fucking clothespin server for fucking Jericho, right? Like, I fucking say that I'm a simp there, but I'm not. Like, I could not give less of a shit about basically anyone, except for, like, the people who, like, are very close to me. Like, I don't give a shit about anyone.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. And that's the thing, too, is, like, I tell a lot of people, because a lot of people say, like, oh, well, you guys are assholes because you don't give a shit about people except for the people who are close to you. No, it's not that we're assholes. We're just honest. Like if we're honest, everybody who's sitting there like eating their goddamn like fucking Dominoes, watching the commercial, they see the commercial with the starving African kids coming on, like they don't actually care what's going on because the fucking kids like aren't related to them.
Well,
That's
okay.
how they are.
Well, not just that, but also the fact that like, okay, if
you
you've been
can feel empathetic towards
if you've
them.
been through the shit that we've been through, like it's understandable why you would fucking not care about the people like, unless they're close to you, right? Because we've had so many.
Exactly.
Because like Gogeta, for an example, Gogeta was trying to fucking act like he was close with us, which he never really was. We were friendly to him, but we weren't like friends with him. But like, it's just kind of like those type of situations where like obviously I don't want to be fucking like act like he's not somebody I would say I'm close with is what I'm trying to get at, right?
Yeah, no, I understand. Well, like, no, there's a difference between empathizing and like truly caring, right? Because it's not like you're becoming a missionary, getting on a bus and going overseas, right? Like you might give so much change a month or whatever because you can empathize with their situation, but it's not like you're actively like trying to participate in their daily lives, right? Like you have these familial and friendship bonds and relationship bonds with people that you would 100% take a bullet for them over some random person you've never met halfway across the world. And that's not being a fucking asshole. That's just being honest.
Like, only person who I would fucking, like, who I don't personally know that I would fucking take a bullet for is Donald Trump, because he's fucking universal in strength.
You don't have to take the bullet. He's universal plus. That dude got his hands on the death note, bro.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I mean, you didn't
that
take
video
the
should
death
be
note
out.
because it would have killed him.
Video should be out in a while, like tomorrow, hopefully Monday, one of those two. It depends on my fucking headache.
Fucking, we power scaled Donald Trump. Like, you guys will see. It's kind of funny. It's pretty good. Like, unironically did it.
But yeah, fucking, since we're talking about vegetable, right? Fucking
yeah.
I mean, there's that one thought that he got with after that. This was when like this by this point this is when me and you had a falling out, right? But he was like
yeah.
He was like dating some freaking like e-girl or something, right? And then like he was constantly bragging to me about her, and I'm like, dude, I don't give a shit. I'm with Violet, and I don't care. And like he was bragging about this. He was bragging about this shit and all that stuff. But then come to find out, she ends up telling him that she lied about her age, and she was actually like 12.
Oh yeah.
And so obviously I made a bunch of jokes about that, and he got fucking mad about that, and I'm pretty sure that's why he stopped talking to me.
It doesn't surprise me if Vegetable and the Border Hopper have a server full of Cabbage Patch Kids, if you get my drift.
Oh yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I'm gonna say that I'm disagreeing, but I'm only doing that for legal reasons.
Listen, I'm not calling them the P word or anything. I'm not saying that they are engaging in any illicit activities. I'm just saying that underage children are probably the only people who like their target audiences, because nobody else, like everybody else's mental capacity is so far beyond that of a child that they can't stand their content. But what happened to that one chick in Clothespin server that was always around?
That's a very vague description.
Yeah, there have been several chicks in Clothespin server. Which one was always around? Because I'm trying to think of, like, do you have a name or a description or anything? That one chick.
The one chick without the balls.
Well, because there have been a couple that were really active in there. Like Nova was one that was for a while, obviously. Her friend was also in there, Luna or whatever. There's, I mean, who else? I mean, obviously Emily, right?
Outside of, fuck off with the Halem joke. It was the only one. What was the only other one?
Is he talking outside of Killer's harem. It was the only one.
Fuck, I'm hanging on myself.
That's
God damn it.
that can't be true because my wife was in the Clothespin server, so there has to be at least more than her.
I mean, there's a lot of them, in the server. So,
I mean, some have come and gone. I'm like, I wish I could think of it because, like, it's funny because, like, if it's him remembering it, then it should be somebody that was there while he was very active there. And the only people I can think of that fit that description are like
he was always in VC.
Nova, Emily, Nova, Emily, and she's always in VC.
Uh,
Are you talking about are you talking about the ex-league member, the Kita? Are you talking about Kita?
I can't even fucking think. Like the only ones I can think of that were like, in VC a lot was like Nova, but like
Yeah.
I don't think it would be Nova that he's talking about.
I don't think it would have been either, right?
I mean, he should know Nova's name.
Like part of me thinks that again my wife would used to be in VC a lot, and like we would talk about stuff like she actually talked to him in voice chat before, and she like actually talked to people like Yolverick, and like people would be talking about all kinds of stuff. I don't know.
We would one with the quiet voice.
A weird one with the quiet voice. Who the fuck? Like, with the quiet voice. I feel like there's somebody that we've totally forgot about.
Probably.
Like, I'm just imagining like Hinata from Naruto, like, hi guys. Like,
I cannot think of anyone.
but like,
Holy
I
shit.
am so blanking out over this.
Fuck? Like, who the fuck?
And she wasn't a part of your harem.
Oh, shit.
He said it, not me. So
Yeah,
she was
stop.
into
Come
some
on, right,
crazy
damn
like
it. I'm fucking
mutilation
tired.
shit.
Crazy mutilation.
She was into some crazy like mutilation shit. She's into some chick who was soft spoken, who was like, "Oh yeah, cut me, daddy." Like I'm just like, what?
I don't remember this person at all.
I like it's like vaguely ringing a bell that I think I remember like some chick who talked about like how like she was into like gore stuff or whatever, or like people like getting cut or hurt or something. I don't. Could he be talking about Jericho? Just like, is it possible?
Well,
Did Jericho ever sit in VCs? Because she's been there for a long time.
she talked to you a lot. She was in your server. Wait, she was in my server? What? Who?
She talked to you a lot. She was in your server. She was into mutilation.
I don't know anyone like this.
She had a quiet voice and she was weird. Dude, the thing is like this actually rings a bell.
Is it weird that he says that she talked to me a lot and I don't remember any of this? Oh. Well, the call with Grim crashed, I guess, so, yeah. I have no idea who that could be. Vanished. I have no idea who the fuck genuinely that could be. Um, yeah, I have no idea who that's gonna be, but been going on for what, almost 2 hours, and the call crashed, so it's just me here, and I have a headache, so I think I'll end the podcast here. Yeah, if it's somebody who's really into mutilation and shit, I'm glad I fucking forgot them. But yeah, I'm just gonna end it here. Thank you all for stopping by. Yeah, man, I wish it would have fucking ended a little bit better. But hey, this was a great podcast, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm glad that I got to send off the JoBros podcast on a high note. Anyway, guys.
Okay, that was beautiful.
Never
Is
mind,
this
you're
making
back.
you as frustrated as it is me? Is this making you as frustrated as it is me?
I was literally about to
Good
end the
thing you forgot.
podcast.
This is so frustrating because like I vaguely remember this, right? I vaguely remember like us having conversations about this, but then part of my brain's like, oh, maybe it was Jericho because you and I discovered before she became super active recently that she was part of the OG clothespin server,
But
and
yeah,
she
but
just
I mean, I don't
stopped. She stopped being
remember-
active, and we didn't really remember her.
I don't remember ever talking to her before, though.
That's the whole thing, though. It's like we didn't remember that she existed in the OG server at all until recently when we figured out that she was in the OG server. But even then, we don't have any memories of her being there, but we know she was there. So like it could have been her and she just stopped being active and she disappeared and she ended up later showing up in the new server, or it could be somebody else. It wasn't Jericho, he said. Okay. So it was definitely somebody else. Oh my god. What? Dude, I'm gonna honestly have to ask my wife, like, hey, do you remember like some chick who was into like weird mutilation shit in the clothespin server? Because she might remember, but it's bothering me so fucking much because I have like vaguely recalled something like that where like we had conversations about how fucking weird and fucked up this chick was. I think at one point the guy who's talking about it in chat said something about how like she needed like professional help or something, and like we like it got to a point like it was.
Ah, fuck.
But who the fuck was it though? It wasn't Ashley.
Well, yeah, because it's not part of my
Obviously,
quote-unquote
not
halo.
part of your harem.
Jesus.
Not part of your harem.
Well, I mean, seeing as how only one of them in the harem is somebody who I know through the internet.
She was in a lot of DB servers and always complained when she got banned. Oh. Oh.
Oh,
I
that-
feel like I remember.
oh, I remember
Yeah,
that.
because
I
you.
remember that.
Yeah, because I remember her sitting there and being like, oh yeah, I used to be in this server, I used to be in that server, and they all banned me because they don't like me because I'm a girl and like I know Dragon Ball better than them or whatever the fuck she would say.
Yeah, I do remember that. I don't remember her name, but I remember that I used to talk to her.
Yeah.
Eh.
We're piecing together the mystery. Like he's like throwing us like bits of information and little by little it's coming back. He's eventually gonna just remember her name and put it in chat, and then it'll finally sink in and we'll be like, oh fuck.
No, knowing my fucking brain, he'll put the name in chat. You'll be like, oh fuck, and I'll be like, who?
He's gonna put her name in chat, and then you're just gonna be like, Kakyoin!
Kakyoin! Oh,
Kakyoin!
he got his eyes!
His eyes!
God damn it. Fucking hell.
God damn it. OVAs are the best.
Watch the JoJo OVAs if you haven't, guys.
I want to say, once the stream ends, I'm going to leave after saying my speech about me being Kappa's biggest simp. Well, you know, if you're Kappa's biggest simp, then you need to go scour the internet for this girl and find her. And then we need to, you know what this reminds me of? Because like he's saying that like Charlie Hunnam there saying like she was into some fucked up shit. Like that reminds me of the whole story with Dio Yagami. You may not remember this, but he and myself and some other people who I used to associate with encountered a guy who basically told us this whole story about like his stepbrother fucking him in the ass and sucking his dick and all kinds of stuff when he was like 13. And like I interviewed him, it was so it was that's what that like the how do we encounter such fucked up people on Discord? Like, excuse me.
Jesus Christ! Like, fucking imagine going around saying proudly, "Yeah, my brother sucked my dick."
Dude, he did. Like, I thought he was trolling. Actually, I'm pretty sure this guy thought he was trolling too. And then I did an impersonation of Seth and Clyde when they were sitting there and they did the whole thing with Splash and they were like, so would you say you're guilty of kitty? Do you have a severe case of kitty diddleritis and stuff like that? And I literally did like the meme in a VC full of people in Clyde server and was interrogating this guy about like, did it feel good when your stepbrother like sucked on your pee-pee? Like, did it make it? And like he was sitting there and he was like, oh yeah, I actually liked it. It made me realize a lot of things about myself and all this. And it was literally like, it turned into something huge. And then afterwards, he was like, nah, legit, that's a real story. I'm serious. And I was like, dude, I'm sorry, but I have a question. Could I interview you like I just did and like put it up on YouTube? And he was like, sure. And then the person in chat ended up debating it on like religion, and people started bullying him over politics and stuff. And he ended up leaving and basically yeeting himself off the internet for a while. So I never got my fucking interview. But yeah, he would randomly bring it up. He would just like that's what happened. We were in VC and we were literally just talking about anime and like power scaling. I think I was talking to Scans about like power scaling Fate. And then literally he's just over there and he's like, yeah, so like I think the reason like I'm like so sexually weird is because like my stepbrother fucked me in the ass when I was 13, and everybody's just like, what the fuck? Like that's how he would just casually bring it up. He'd just be like, "Oh yeah, you like that as much as I like my stepbrother sucking my 13-year-old cock." Like he would just bring it up. Like what the fuck?
You didn't ask. Thank you.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny because your mod there, I'm pretty sure, said something like that at one point. Like actually, several times he'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? Like nobody fucking cares. Nobody wants to hear that shit. Like that's like what the fuck? Oh my god, like that was a whole ass thing. And then everybody like missed him being around to bully, so they like baited him back by saying like, "Oh, Clyde will let you debate, and if you win, you can come back, and if you lose, like you're a meme for life or whatever." And like he came back and like got, you know. But yeah. But that's what it made me think of when he's like, "Yeah, chick who's into mutilation." I'm like, "Ah, Dio fucking his stepbrother." I don't know, dude. There's a lot of memes from that server. The dude who was like selling feet pics of his girlfriend. I still have like a picture where like somebody photoshopped her ass onto Sasuke Uchiha, and it's fucking hilarious.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
like
gotta show my
Clyde.
girlfriend's feet pics.
Yeah, Clyde banned people from talking about it because everybody was like calling him a simp and like making fun of him because like his girlfriend sold her feet pics for money and stuff. And like he would be like bragging about it, and then he's like showing everybody like his anorexic, like disgusting looking girlfriend. He was just like, oh yeah, and like just bragging about like, hey, we make money off of like simps or whatever. And it's just like, dude,
Dude, you are a simp.
yeah,
You're a fucking
and
beta.
like it's just she was weird and like it was so funny because like he sent yeah that eliminate Christ, that's who it was, eliminate Christ. And I still have the Sasuke Uchiha picture and it's him like just like I guess he's like running or something, and it looks so good. The picture's so well done. The Photoshop is it's
Oh,
just
you'll have to send that to me later.
Sasuke and then a female booty. Like I will send it to you. It's so
Oh, hell
good. It's so
yeah.
good. It's so fucking good. Like, oh man, no, like that, dude. So much stuff has happened, and like the clothespin server. There's been so many weird people in there, from girls who mutilate themselves, and to guys who think that police are racist because they're shooting people with handguns instead of AK-47s.
Oh god.
Um,
Ugh. I mean, to be fair though, the weirdest fucker in the Clothespin server is me. So
Yeah, it Scribe's working her actual ass. Yeah, I don't talk to him after he did his little thing trying to get me to fight with you.
oh my
And he was
fucking
like coming in my
heavens.
DMs like, "Oh, we have a plan to eliminate this person from our group of friends, Grim." And I'm just like, "I thought you guys worked everything out. Like, don't involve me in this bullshit." You know, just so many memes, so many memes. Nakatsuru, I still have memes of the Kaito person because she, like, when she came in Clyde's service, she's like, "Oh yeah, James Hansen slides in my DMs. I'm rich and I'm smart and I'm pretty," and like I memed it and like everybody roasted the fuck out of her. It was just beautiful, beautiful stuff like that happens on the internet. Listen, again, some people like come in and bring it on themselves. Some people put themselves out there and just like literally come swinging at you, and sometimes you just gotta swing back, and that's just how it is.
Well, okay, even some people,
Um,
like, even if they don't come swinging, if they put themselves out there and try to act like they're the hottest shit, you gotta fucking humble their ass, right?
Right, that's what it comes down to is like I'm all about like positivity and not like bullying and shaming people and stuff, right? But like if people are actively trying to like put out there that they are better than others and better than you because of something as dumb or subjective as like, oh, I'm hot or oh, I'm smart or whatever, like at that point you feel free to go and express your negative opinions of them, okay? Like if they're doing some fuck shit, like you have every right to call them out and say, "Hey, I think you're doing some fuck shit." Yeah, Kaito is Nikatsu. Dude, I don't listen. Listen, to this day, like when we were in James's server, we were in that VC, there was definitely a girl on the phone. So like I don't know if that was like Nikatsuru's sister or what it was, but I feel like Nikatsuru used the Kaido account, but like Kaido actually was like his sister or something. I don't know.
Ugh.
But like, cause when she got in that call, cause like I was like we were the ones pointing out like, oh, Kaido is saying this stuff, but we hear a guy in the background telling her what to say, and it's clearly Nikatsuru, right? But yeah, no, I mean, dude, the podcast has come a long way. We got so off topic. We always do that. It's come a long way. Uh, we've had a lot of good podcasts. We did the guy who tried to take credit for all of our stuff. The your number one anime guy. We did a thing about him.
Oh yeah, that wasn't a podcast. That was like I did a video on him, and then I did a
Oh,
a
that was an
live
actual
interview. No,
video.
not even a live video. It was an actual video where I interviewed him. Um, after the fact, and he fucking like pussied out. Eventually he just left. But I don't really have a problem with him because he admitted that he was wrong. He came to me and he told me that he was wrong and that he was lying back then, and I appreciate him fucking coming out and actually taking accountability, right?
I don't have a problem with him either. I'm just like saying that yeah, we did that podcast or whatever. Like I said, I genuinely don't have problems with like anybody that like anything happened with. Like there are people that I will never associate with no matter what happens, but that doesn't mean that I hate those people or whatever.
There's
And
one
none
person
of
I hate, but yeah,
and none of those people are in your server, or none of those people are people that you're currently cool with, right? So
yeah,
like everybody you're cool with, I'm cool with. I don't got issues at all.
yeah.
Never have. Like so, I mean, even like it's just one of those things. But yeah, those certain people, like like the your number one anime guy, like I never had beef with him to begin with. I just thought it was really fucking dumb that he was like doing what he did.
Yeah. Yeah, like I mean, I'm just happy about like the people who can fucking like come out and admit that they were fucking wrong. Like one anime guy did it. Eventually Sun Zycon did, and Sun Zycon. As
Well,
far as
yeah.
last I remember, he subscribed to my channel. I don't fucking know if he still is or not, but
Well, look, it's like I went on Zan's podcast, right? I said, hey, like I was wrong about Entrance because it wasn't him who was in control of the question mark guy account. Now, like to be fair, like I've said multiple times, he was actively telling people that that was his account. So that's why I thought it was his account because he was claiming it as his account. But then he showed me that he was just covering for somebody, and I was man enough to go and say, okay, look, he he gave me misinformation to begin with. Now I know the truth. I was wrong. I fucked up. Like, disregard what I said. Um, I apologize.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been shit that there's been we all have moments. Nobody's fucking perfect. We all do shit that's stupid or whatever at one point or another. We're all assholes at one point or another, right? Like we've been dicks to each other. We've been dicks to other people. We've done some unnecessary stuff. Like I've even told you that like yeah, it was wrong of me. Like in the past, I was an asshole to Charlie Hunnam there by like imitating his accent or whatever. Like, and it was never like a malicious thing to me because I always just saw it as like his reaction was just like it was funny and I thought that like he took it as like a joke or whatever and it wasn't a big deal but like obviously it was a bigger deal than I thought it was and so I was wrong because I didn't consider his fucking end of it. So like obviously I was an asshole when I did that. And that's fine. Sometimes we're not fucking perfect.
Yeah, I think that
Sometimes we
that's
make.
one thing that I fucking hate about like you some of these smaller YouTubers it more often than not affects, but like this mentality that you can't fucking take accountability for when you're wrong. Like, just be a fucking man, be an adult, right? And fucking take accountability when you're wrong. There's nothing to be ashamed about when you do that.
Accountability is a huge thing, and I think part of being somebody's actual friend is holding them accountable. When I was on James's, not James, when I was on Zan's podcast, and he brought up the whole Vaughn situation or whatever, and I made the joke about his mom with the coat hanger or whatever. Like he called me out on it immediately, and I even told him straight up, like I know it's wrong, I know I'm being an asshole, I'm being offensive, and making a joke that clearly I shouldn't fucking make. But I'm upset, I'm being petty, I don't care, like, and obviously like that was wrong of me, right? But like I still owned it, and I still took accountability, and I've already said like, hey, my bad, like, you know.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have
Yeah.
made the fucking joke. Like, but it wasn't, it wasn't a racist joke. It was just a joke in poor taste. Somebody thought it was racist, but I don't know how that it ever became a racist thing. It was an abortion joke. It was just in poor taste.
Yeah. Yeah.
I should have been more sensitive to like the topic and like how people felt about it. So it is what it is. But it's like, like we all have fucking regrets in our life. Nobody's gonna like the no regrets thing. Like there's like not anybody who can honestly say like, oh yeah, everything I've ever done is perfect. And if you can say that, then you're either lying or you're delusional.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I'm gonna try to
Go.
speed this up a bit because my fucking head is killing me again.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we got on so many tangents. Like I'm still trying to think of who that girl was.
um,
Buy Capo's bathwater at Amazon.com now.
yeah, buy my bathwater. I need fucking I need money, right?
Now he's not saying he's sad in it, but it's bathwater. Huh.
Yeah. No, I put my fucking. All I did was I dipped my balls in it and then packaging it up. Ignore the fact that I don't even like. I have a shower.
I have a shower. I don't have a bath. I have a shower.
I have a shower like a fucking normal human.
Do you have like a bodega? Does it like fucking clean your ass for you when you're done done on the toilet?
No.
Would you ever use a bodega? Is it gay to use a bodega?
If it is, then I guess I'm gay. I'd do it.
You've used one?
No, I'd do it.
Or you would do it.
I
You
would
would
do it. Hell yeah.
You would do it.
Clean my
Like, I want to
butthole.
know what
I'm fine with that.
Clean my butthole. Oh God. There it is. There it is. Right there. I feel like you saying that is the magic words, and it's just gonna summon Junkie into the fucking chat, and he's just gonna be like, "Oh, okay, both."
Oh God, no. But yeah, the only other podcast of note really was the one that we did with Flyest, which that one spawned a whole bunch of memes. At one point,
Yes, because
I think at one point it was off of my.
disconnected.
I think at one point I removed it from my I removed it, like I privated it, but it's back up on my channel. Right? Fucking great meme. It's a great meme.
Yeah, because I was in Florida when we did that. I disconnected during the podcast, and then people talk shit on me for disconnecting forever because, like, I had like a fucking power surge.
Yeah, like fucking half of the podcast was just me and Flyest having the Kaylee.
Well, sometimes things happen. I'm here. Like, the only time I didn't show up was either when I had legit stuff that was going on and it was kind of last minute, or if certain people didn't tell me that the podcast was happening. Looking at the dude who tried to go and tell you, like, oh, Grim didn't show up. Grim was a no-show. Well, Grim was a no-show because you were supposed to tell Grim and you didn't tell Grim.
Well, actually, no. Grim was a no-show because he told me not to tell Grim.
Well, there you go. Like what's the logic? Grim's bad because Grim was a no-show, but he's only a no-show because I made it to where he didn't know about it because because I said that if Cabo told Grim about it, I was going to throw a temper tantrum and quit the podcast and quit being his friend. Like
yeah,
that logic doesn't work very well. But just saying.
Yeah, it was a bit fucking stupid with that. I mean, the better question is why the fuck did he think that he could go like, fucking go off on my girlfriend and then me not be pissed about it?
But Capo, he is responsible for your whole channel. He gave you a chance on his platform.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. He gave me a chance on his platform, aka the Clothesline Podcast, aka not even anyone's platform. It was just fucking existed.
Exactly. No, it literally started because I fucking told fucking Clothespins, like, hey, I used to do a podcast. Like, I think it'd be really cool if we did a podcast. And he's like, go for it. And then him and Second Stats were like, yeah, we want to do it too. And I was like, cool. And then like it came time to do it, and then they got mad because it was going to go on my channel because I was the one who was doing the like I wanted to do a podcast. I came up with the Clothesline Podcast thing because like Clothespins, laundry, like Clothesline, and like we're the mods that hold the fucking whatever. But and then I was like, yeah. So and then they were like, oh no, it can't be on your channel. Like that's not fair. So went and created a whole nother channel. Gotten fucking fights because like I want to do a podcast like this where we genuinely talk about things, and they wanted to script everything. I'm like, that's not a podcast, that's a video.
Yeah,
that's just how I feel. That was just my opinion, and it was just like my original view was like this is what I wanted to do, and I laid that out clearly, and everybody said they were fine with it. And then when it came time to do it, everybody suddenly wanted to do other things with it and like take control of it, and it wasn't even so much that like it was an issue that like I didn't want people to have input, but it's just like it completely changed the original concept and left nothing left of it, which was like well, this is what I wanted to do. Like that's why I asked Clothespins if I could do it, And then it happened, and nobody watched it. Surprise, surprise. Nobody liked it. Surprise, surprise. And that was the end of that.
I liked it because I was in it.
Well, you liked it. You liked it. But like literally, you ended up being in it because I think it was actually like fucking because we were talking about making you a mod anyway, and then it wasn't even him that suggested you be on the podcast. Like the idea was brought up, and I said that'd be cool to have him on, and then he basically went and told you like, yeah, I got you in, buddy. It was all me, and it was like, no, it was a group decision that everybody said they were cool with, like.
Yeah, I mean, either way, you revived the Clothesline Podcast and made it what it should have been from the beginning.
Yeah, which I still want to have guests and stuff on there because like lately we haven't been doing that so much. But like obviously Discord's being gay for me, and we need to use Google Hangouts. But like if we can get people on Google Hangouts like to do the Closest Lines podcast shit, I'd be happy with it. We had Zeno on there the other day, but like, I mean. Like I want to start having other people on there who like have like personalities, like colorful personalities,
Yeah, we'll also still yet to have Clothespins on there.
Yeah, right. We need people with colorful personality, but not Junkie because that's a little too colorful.
Oh yeah. Oh Jesus.
You, him and his like Black Lives Matter crossing shit and like all the other stuff he was saying that we literally had
I
to
don't
like
want that on my
repeatedly just
channel.
say to
Thank you.
YouTube like, I don't want that. Like we don't endorse that. Like, stop.
Yeah, I mean that's why I
And he's just
suggested.
like, I don't give a fuck because I'm sitting over here in fucking Britain eating my fucking scones with my fucking tea and I'll make whatever jokes I want.
I thought he was a fucking Kiwi.
Is he cute? Okay, well,
He's a
let me
Kiwi.
change that. I'm over here in the land down fucking under and I'm sitting here fucking barbecuing some fucking shit and it's not shrimp either because like that idea is fucking bullshit, mate. It's fucking racist as shit. I'm drinking my 4X by the beach and I'll say whatever the fuck I want because I'm here in down under land and everything's fucking backwards. It's like opposite day all the time. So if I say something racist, it means I'm not a racist. Savvy. Fucking Junkie, this guy Snake Eater Junkie.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. He's a colorful
The same guy
person.
who like sexually harassed you.
I'm fine with that. I'm not fine with that. Don't fucking sexually harass me.
You publicly just said on YouTube you're fine with being sexually harassed in before a bunch of like creepy 60-year-old men like are sitting behind the keyboard like he said the magic words.
Look, and before some people come and try to fucking sexually harass me, okay? Just know I'm a 21-year-old, right? So if you're a pedo, don't be
I'm
fucking.
not 5, so
Don't be
I'm
confused
not
by my
5,
voice.
so if you're I'm not 5, so if you're a part of the Smash community, you're gonna be sorely disappointed.
Oh my god. Yeah, you know, that was a whole weird situation. I never had been sexually harassed before. It was a bit weird.
I have, but it was at work, and it was by a woman who ended up going to jail for attempting to stab her husband to death because he wouldn't listen to her.
Okay, well, duly noted. Watch out for Junkie to potentially stab me to death.
I'm not saying he's on that level, but like, just
Yeah.
I don't know. Lord Frieza just destroyed a planet 2 minutes ago. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why you always show up and you're just like talking about random nonsense?
Just
Like,
ignore him. He's in his own little world. Let's continue. My fucking head hurts too
he's
much.
on the spectrum.
But yeah, oh fuck, what was I gonna say? Shit. Yeah, you know, one minute he'd be like, oh yeah, send me feet pics or whatever, and then next minute he'll fucking be stabbing me to death. Fine.
Speaking of Kiwis, didn't you want to talk about the whole Australia fucking copyright law thing, or did we talk about that? I don't remember.
We talked about it on the.
We didn't do it in a podcast.
I thought
we talked about it on the call.
I thought we talked about it in the Clothesline podcast the other day.
Did we?
I think so.
I have a really bad short-term memory. Like, I don't remember what I talked to you about yesterday until, like, I actually remember.
I don't remember until I remember.
No, like, I forgot that we had, like, modded save, like, we had, like, randomizers for, like, Pokemon Black 2 until I talked to Wild Wolf today, and he was talking about Pokemon Go, and I was like, oh, yeah, I have randomizer stuff going on with Capo, and we've thought about making, like, randomized Nuzlocke shit, like, a series on YouTube, and he's like, oh, that'd be so dope, and I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool.
And then you were like, oh, wait, fuck,
like,
we didn't finish ours.
Yeah, I literally totally forgot until you said something to me about Pokemon. Like, see, that's how bad it is. It's like, I just like, I'm so busy in my day to day till like nighttime. It's like everything that happened the other day. It's just like, I don't know, bro. It's gone from my mind. Like the name of the girl who was into mutilation and wanted your dick, apparently.
I mean, I don't blame her.
But
I know how many women want my dick.
She wasn't part of your harem, but she wanted you.
I don't blame her. What I lack in size, I got in stamina.
Every cheap truck stop hooker down at the Chuck E. Cheese wants you.
Hell yeah.
All the Hooters girls smile at you and say nice things.
And all the other girls, not part of their job description. All the other girls look at me, smile, and say, "He's got a nice personality."
The same girls who tell you, don't worry, I almost said your fucking name. Don't worry, Capo. Size doesn't actually matter. It's the motion of the ocean.
I mean, prove it wrong.
No, I had to use your own joke because you're always like, "Hey, micro penis joke here."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no,
Like,
I actually had like a bit of a fucking like I don't want to say debate, but I had like a discussion that I never got to see eye to eye. I mean, we never got to see eye to eye with Zeno. Talking about like dick size, and I was like, it's not really about the size; it's about the fucking like technique. Because if you have a big dick but you
oh
fucking
yeah.
suck ass with technique, you fucking yeah, it's gonna be the worst.
Well, there's a point at which your dick is just too big and it's not gonna pleasure the woman like just ramming that motherfucker in and out, and that's not gonna be enough anyway. Like you got to know what you're doing. There's a thing called a G spot. You should find it. Like like there's lots of in and outs to it, and we're not gonna sit here and give you the birds and the bees talk. This is not the birds and bees podcast, but
My fucking 2 IQ brain was
could you
just like
imagine?
my
Could you
two
imagine
IQ brain
doing
heard you say
doing
in
like
and
a
outs of it, and I was like in and out.
Could you imagine doing like a fucking podcast or video series like where we literally are just like talking about like sex and like breaking down techniques and stuff and like
Technically speaking,
like I'm not saying we should do that, but it would be hilarious. It'd be like Love Line with Dr. Drew, except people would be in there and they'd be like, I have a tiny dick and I have herpes. Can I still get women? And we would just be sitting there like,
oh,
well, no,
I
no, you
mean,
can't.
yeah, you gotta
Well,
use
you
your dick because
can,
if so,
but
no.
well, you can, but they also have to be nasty. So
Yeah, like find the
you
fucking
can't get
blowfly
clean.
girl and
Here,
fucking tap that.
lesson one. You can't get clean pussy with a dirty dick.
Yeah, like fucking bloatfly girl, go for her.
Oh, please no! Stop! Oh God! Oh, that's giving me fucking flashbacks to like the Reddit like fucking nastiest sex things. You got blowfly girl, you got fucking cottage cheese pussy girl. Oh, dude.
Oh god.
Where he's like, "Oh yeah, I was eating her out, and then I started tasting something weird, and it was chunky and kind of crunchy and chewy, and it smelled really bad. And then I realized it was like cottage cheese coming out of her vagina." And I'm like,
Dear God, can we just stop that there? I don't want to fucking get this video like fucking
yeah,
like
no,
absolutely
let's
obliterated.
stop. This video's already been obliterated. Like, look at our like and dislike ratio.
Well, I mean,
Nobody
that's a
likes
reaction.
me.
Yeah. Oh fuck, my fucking head is killing. So yeah, we talked about the last fucking podcast that I really wanted to talk about. My fucking head is killing me. I'm ready to end this if you are.
Stop hitting it on things.
Oh no!
Stop hitting your head on things.
No, I'm not hitting it on anything. It's just that there's nothing inside of there, and it kind of hurts when it's so empty.
It's so empty that anytime you try to like think of something, you have to charge the thought for so long that like you get a misfire and then it causes migraines.
Yeah, no, it's just like there's nothing in my brain besides like a tiny walnut that I call my brain, right? And then there's a whole bunch of sinus fucking like build up.
My head is full of useless ass information, a fuck ton of music, anime, and memes. Like that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna end the podcast.
Yeah, I think this is a good ending point because like there was other stuff we were originally going to talk about, but like we got off on such a fucking like random place like several times. That's what I like about our podcast though. We can go anywhere and nobody ever knows where we're gonna go.
Shout out to Grim. He got the real big dick energy out here, you know. And thank you also for stopping by for this last fucking JoBros podcast.
I think I say thank you to the mods who are out here like holding down the fort and like keeping the trolls away and
Yeah.
doing their job.
Shout out to the mods.
Because they have to sit here and listen to our bullshit too.
Yeah, and make sure you guys come back eventually. I don't know when it's gonna be for the new podcast, the Killjoy podcast. It's gonna be hosted. It's gonna be
Ooh.
me and then the rest of my staff in the server. Whoever wants to fucking hop in for that episode. Fuck, my head hurts. Yeah, we're gonna be.
Everybody
doing that.
should get Google Hangouts.
Fuck my head. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna end this now.